Welcome back, everybody. This is Custom Houston. In the last part, we climbed Larry's Tower, and in this part, we're going to be going to a new land from the frozen heart we received in the last part. And now, what's exciting is that this is my second time recording this. This is the same session as the past couple parts have been. Well, not same session, but it's the same day. And it's still almost Christmas, and I'm still almost excited. I'm actually more excited for other things. But anyway, this land is, another example of how this game has absolutely fantastic lands, but, the quests that take place there aren't fantastic, to say the least. This quest isn't quite so bad, but the quest we're going to be doing here afterward is that bad. Narcotics, there's no such thing as a fairy treasure. You won't be able to bring your deceased wife back, but you can't look back. We recognize this guy, don't you? Don't we? We recognize him, don't you? Which actually leads me to a thing, which is, I don't know if Memphisee is actually, like, meant to be a bad guy. Like, in the quest where he's summoning the stars to fall, I don't know if he knew that it wasn't real, or that it wouldn't actually destroy the world, or what, because clearly here we're helping him. Or maybe the hero of this tale is just a mercenary, and he or she doesn't give a shit about, you know, the fate of the world as long as we get paid or some sort of reward. But I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. It's a question for a different day. Maybe we could get MatPat to do a thing on it. If only. What is the chance of that happening? Never. Most likely. But a girl can dream. Anyway, so this quest is pretty short, actually. We're basically just trying to track down the fairy treasure and also look for Memphisee and his small children that he carries around with him in his pockets. Except not really, which actually reminds me I need to check my special techniques and set Sparkling Rampage. Like I said, I won't be showing off the remaining special techniques. I don't think any of them are anything particularly exciting to look at anyway. And I found out that my software doesn't like this place either, which is unfortunate because both this quest and the next quest involve this area, so I can't even do the whole double up technique to try and get it to work. And I really don't understand what it is about certain areas my computer doesn't like. Like, it'd be it's just weird to me that, like, it's predictable. If it wasn't predictable, I wouldn't assume that it's certain areas in this game that my... Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go. I wouldn't assume that it was just certain areas, but the fact that after every single quest in a certain zone, my computer crashes. Well, it doesn't crash. My whole computer doesn't crash. Just my setup crashes and I lose whatever I was recording. And the fact that it does it with predictability, like I know it's coming, and I always just have to pray to Jesus Grandma that it doesn't actually crash, but it does. So, unless I get really lucky, because it has a higher chance of success than failure, which in this case success actually is failure, so I'm being a little convoluted, but sometimes it doesn't work. So if this comes out, you get to, and you listen to my rambling of why everything sucks, you'll now understand. And, so as a result of that, I think this part's probably going to end up being pretty short if it manages to exist. But we'll see. So over here we have a camp where Memphisee and his magical students are hanging out. And he says, we have to go. Wesley, we have to go. And this is actually important. It's not just some extra bonus scene. And this has actually led me astray quite a number of times before. So after picking up the treasure, because as you know, the treasure is the most important, even though neither of these two items are particularly important, you need to talk to Memphis, and he says maybe Necrotos is still alive. What's with all these people with weird names? Anyway, and he runs off. Now, occasionally, the past couple of times, someone's landing a plane near my house. I think. Jeez. That's weird. Occasionally... What am I trying to say? Oh yeah, occasionally the past couple of times that I've been running through this quest, I forget to talk to him, and if you go... You'll see what I mean in a bit, but if you go to where you're supposed to go, like, as if you weren't doing the quest, or if you were doing the quest and you hadn't... I can't really explain it without visual cues or examples of what I mean, so I'll just hold off on that for a bit as we carry on with this quest. Now, another fun thing about this place is, if you remember from way back in the day, we were able to grow or capture and raise monsters, and this zone is the only zone in the entire game that I'm aware of that you can catch dragons, like the sky dragon we're beating the crap out of. And back in the day when I actually gave a shit about the monsters you could catch, all I ever got was dragons. I waited and waited and did as many quests as I could until I got this place, and then I got the whole dragon family, which is the kid dragon, the big dragon, I think it's called the land dragon, and then the sky dragon. And then the only other pet I ever had was a Shadow Zero, which I don't know if I've explicitly stated what those are, but they're the little black dudes on the ground with like the giant hole in their face. So over here we have Memphis talking to the Ice Witch, who's not actually an Ice Witch because she takes offense to that name. How many times, blah blah blah, you told them that I killed him? You don't believe me, do you? Please understand, he was my only brother. I didn't want him to come to the magical powers, Garden of Flowers. That rhymed. So she basically just says that in order to survive here, he turned into a giant-ass monster. Or she turned him into a giant-ass monster, I'm really not sure. But, this is what I was talking about earlier, where, if you don't talk to Memphis in the camp like I mentioned you need to, and you come down here instead, there's no, like, the Ice Witch isn't there. So there's no, I feel like, it's a kind of a poor design choice by the creators, is that they should have just had her waiting here, and blocking your path so that if you didn't go talk to him, there's no way for you to get here. So it clearly indicates that you're doing something wrong. That's just my personal opinion, and to be honest with you, it's been so long that I might be lying to you, and there might be something in the way. I honestly can't remember. But I'm pretty sure I've done this quest where I've gotten to the Field of Lost Guilt, which, as you can tell, is clearly filled with a monster that we've seen at least twice before now. And there's a way you can get here and just be like, well, what do I do now? And I completely forgot to show off where you can get dragons. I wasn't planning on going in, but I was going to make a note of it. It's, if you go to the path directly opposite this one, it's basically the lower right in the screen, just over from this one. If you keep following that path, you should be able to get dragon eggs and also some elementals. I think Shade and Salamander are here. And Aura, maybe. I don't remember. It's been a long time. And he doesn't feel any better because she killed her, or we killed his brother. And we got Icy Platinum, which would be useful. Actually, I might be able to make some armor with that. I don't remember what I'm wearing for armor. Because to be honest with you, you don't really need it. And that's going to do it for that quest. And also, unfortunately, this part. I really hope that it works this time. Otherwise, I'm talking to myself, which is something that I do anyway. But it's always better to note. Oh, that's another thing that I need to remember to make note of next time. What was I saying? I was in the middle of something. Talking to myself. That's what it was. So I'm going to talk to my cactus, call an episode here. If you like this part, I would recommend watching the next one, and I've been Cosmogoosen, and I will see you in said next one.